The music inside Club Eclipse peaked at about midnight. Fans' cameras caught every star they knew as neon lights blazed over the packed dance floor. Nobody anticipated that one enigmatic picture would cause total havoc on social media before dawn. It appeared to be a typical celebrity night out at first. However, the identical question was being asked by everyone by the next morning. The woman standing next to Mendeecees was who? And why did she abruptly vanish before anyone could see her clearly? The story starts here. Mendeecees had worked for years to establish his name in the entertainment industry. His schedule never seemed to calm down: interviews, TV appearances, business endeavors. People kept talking about him even after he took a short break from the limelight. Bambi was having a similar experience across town. She was well known for her self-assurance, robust demeanor, and capacity to maintain composure in the face of drama. Over the years, Bambi had learned one crucial lesson, yet reporters were always looking for new stories about her. Never give an explanation for every rumor. There were moments when silence attracted more attention than words could. Mendeecees and Bambi had no intention of making headlines that Friday night. The attendees had just concluded a meeting with many business associates. One of them recommended spending the evening at Club Eclipse, one of the most exclusive venues in the city. Mendeecees paused. "I'm only staying for 30 minutes, he grinned. His pals chuckled. "In the meanwhile, you always say that." All across the city. Bambi was preparing for the birthday celebration of her closest buddy. Publicity didn't appeal to her. She desired one quiet evening free from gossip websites, interviews, and cameras. "I hope nobody recognizes us tonight," her buddy jokingly said. Bambi chuckled. "Just before 11 o'clock, you know that's impossible." Outside Club Eclipse, black SUVs started to pull up. The entryway was lined with luxury vehicles. The streets were filled with the sound of music. Every VIP area was full with influencers, business leaders, sports, singers, and celebrities. A private entrance was used by the attendees. Bambi and 3 close pals came from the front. They were each unaware that the other was inside. For over 60 minutes. Nothing out of the ordinary occurred. Mendeecees welcomed former acquaintances. He shook hands with a number of promoters. He discussed a potential investment with restaurant proprietors. Across the club, as they celebrated the birthday supper, Bambi and her pals giggled. Everything appeared to be perfectly normal. Next, not long after midnight, a surprise performance was announced by the DJ. People flocked to the club's core. Individuals began shifting between the VIP areas. Security personnel found it difficult to keep the expanding crowd under control. Amid the chaos, attendees made their way over to the lounge. At precisely the same time, Bambi moved away from her pals to take a call. Neither saw the other. Until, they unintentionally ran into one another. "Oh, I apologize," Mendeecees said, looking up. Bambi gave a courteous grin. "Mendeecees, I had no idea you would be here." They greeted each other briefly. Nothing more, no romance, no conflict, no dramatic scene. A photographer in the vicinity caught a glimpse of 2 recognizable faces suddenly meeting, clicked, and took one picture. The chat lasted less than 2 minutes, during which Mendeecees congratulated Bambi on a recent business project, but neither Bambi nor Mendeecees paid attention. Before departing, Bambi wished him luck in his own endeavors. Mendeecees grinned and said, "Be careful. You as well." They strolled in different directions. At the very least, simple, ordinary, and forgettable. They believed so because someone else had been observing the whole exchange. A guy in a black hoodie dropped his camera from the balcony above the VIP section. He wasn't shooting photos for memories, unlike the spectators downstairs. He zoomed in on every picture, every angle, every attitude, and he was gathering content. Then he slipped out of the club. In a matter of minutes, he opened his laptop in his parked car. The initial hazy picture that surfaced online had a single, enigmatic message, but no context or explanation. Can you guess who met tonight in secret? It was first disregarded by thousands of people until being shared by another entertainment page. A close-up shot was published by another user 10 minutes later. Instantly, comments erupted. Is that Mendeecees? Who is this woman? Did they go together? What's happening? Inside Club Eclipse, no one was aware of the whole tale, but the internet had already begun to construct one. Mendeecees didn't know. He kept talking to business associates until departing just after 1 o'clock. Around 3 in the morning, Bambi stayed for an additional 45 minutes before leaving with her companions to go home. Neither of them checked social media or saw that their names were starting to trend. Another message was submitted by the anonymous user. The faces were only partially visible in a dimly lit picture taken from the other side of the room. However, the caption, "This wasn't their first meeting," was sufficient to draw notice. Despite the lack of proof, evidence, or explanation, thousands of individuals started discussing the significance of the images. By dawn, some maintained that the gathering appeared to be entirely harmless, while others thought there had to be a secret narrative. The conversation was taken up by entertainment websites, reaction channels began making films, and comment sections were full with conjecture. In the meantime, one enigmatic picture had taken center stage in the day's internet discourse. When Mendeecees awoke, his manager had sent him 6 frantic messages, saying, "Call me immediately," and he had dozens of missed calls. Across town, when Bambi opened her phone, hundreds of alerts sprang up in a matter of seconds. Journalists, friends, relatives, and unknown numbers. "What is happening?" she said, quietly staring at the television as everyone sought the same response. They had no idea that a 2-minute chat at a packed nightclub would make headlines. However, when Mendeecees went for his phone to answer his manager's call, it appeared like someone, somewhere, was going to make one routine contact into something much more. The following morning, the internet seemed to be talking about just one thing: a single fuzzy photo. 2 recognizable faces. This statement added to the mystery in yet another anonymous post that surfaced online. And many unanswered questions. Mendeecees sat silently in his home office, looking at his phone while alerts kept coming in every few seconds. His boss had already phoned 3 times before Mendeecees finally picked up. "Please tell me this is nothing," he replied after a lengthy silence. "I wish I could." Mendeecees scowled. "What are you referring to?" "The picture is all over the place. Reaction channels, gossip sites, and entertainment blogs. Everyone is sharing it." Mendeecees inhaled deeply, but nothing occurred. "I am aware of it," his manager answered. "The issue is, the internet is unaware of that. All throughout the city. You need to see this," Bambi's closest friend said as she hurried into her apartment with a tablet. "Up, Bambi. I've seen enough already." "No, you haven't." She set the tablet down on the table. The screen was packed with dozens of headlines. Mystery meeting raises questions. A late-night club encounter becomes viral. Fans want responses. Bambi shook her head slowly. People are making a story out of 2 minutes. Her companion gave a nod. In the meanwhile, that's exactly what's happening. The initial shot was submitted by an anonymous account, although it was not yet complete. At precisely 12 o'clock. There was another picture. Mendeecees were seen moving in the direction of the VIP lounge this time. Bambi was nowhere to be seen. Even so, there was a lot more to the tale, according to the caption. In a matter of minutes, there were thousands of comments. Some folks took everything at face value. Others wondered right away if the pictures had been taken out of context. The argument grew much more heated. Mendeecees made the decision to meet his management group. Everyone appeared serious inside a downtown office building. Numerous entertainment websites were shown on a huge television. The identical rumor appeared in every headline. Attendees took a seat. His PR said, "So what's the plan initially?" Another advisor concurred, saying, "We don't react emotionally right now." Mendeecees leaned back in his chair and said, "If we react too quickly, we might give the rumor even more attention." There was no simple response, but remaining silent could make people think it's true, simultaneously. Bambi got a call out of the blue. It was a private number. She nearly disregarded it. Rather. Hey, she responded. Hello, said a composed voice. I have information about the person posting those photos. Bambi immediately became alert. Who are you? I am unable to tell you that. So why are you phoning? Because you don't realize how big the story is. Before Bambi could ask another query, she glanced at her phone when the caller hung up, feeling uneasy. Mendeecees and Bambi received invites to the same weekend charity fundraiser later that afternoon. After all that had transpired, neither of them intended to go. They both thought it was best to stay out of the spotlight. However, fate appeared determined to reunite their identities on social media. Two opposing viewpoints had emerged among them. Fans, one of which maintained that the encounter was entirely harmless. The other thought there had to be a secret motive. Online videos that examined each frame of the fuzzy pictures started to surface, with some people focusing on facial expressions and others talking about body language. Some even said that they had insider information. However, none of their assertions were confirmed, and the mystery further deepened that night. Another message was sent to the Mendeecees. It came from an unidentified number, not his manager. "Meet me tonight if you want the truth," was the sole statement in the text. No place, no name. Then a second message came in. Mendeecees stared at the computer for a few seconds, wondering if he should disregard the address or find out who was responsible. Bambi opened her email nearly simultaneously. There was a fresh mail that had just come, but it had no subject line. There was just one picture, and it was taken outside of Club Eclipse some hours before Mendeecees and Bambi showed up. One statement, "This person planned everything," was affixed to the picture, with the subject's face concealed by a sweatshirt. Bambi's pulse accelerated. What's happening? Somewhere else. Inside a little flat, the unidentified photographer grinned as he saw the news broadcast. He muttered to himself as he saw hot hashtags on several screens, view counts increasing every minute, and comments reaching hundreds of thousands. They still don't get it. Next, he accessed a folder on his laptop. There were dozens of never-before-seen photos from the same evening inside. Some showed famous people walking into the club, while others showed security personnel conversing. One picture, though, stopped him in his tracks. The photographer scowled when he saw another enigmatic figure observing Mendeecees and Bambi from the other side of the room. "I didn't notice you before," he said. Hey. Back at Mendeecees' house, another person had also been observing. Against the advice of his boss, he took another look at the enigmatic address that had been emailed to his phone. "If someone knows the truth," he said as he reached for his vehicle keys, "I'm going to find out." At precisely the same moment, after printing the anonymous photo from her email, Bambi compared it to the widely shared images on the internet. As midnight drew near, the hooded man appeared familiar, very familiar, but she couldn't recall where she had previously seen him. Mendeecees parked near the deserted warehouse mentioned in the text message. There were no cars, no people, just stillness, and the building was entirely black. He entered the empty warehouse gently, and then all of a sudden there was a huge noise. When Mendeecees looked back, he saw nothing except a little packet on the ground, which he gently picked up. A flash drive and a handwritten note that said, "The photos don't tell the real story," were found inside. Before it's too late, watch the video. Mendeecees took one last glance around the deserted building, wondering what secret was concealed in the film, who had been messaging him, and who had left the flash drive. Mendeecees ran back to his car, gripping the flash drive tightly. The empty warehouse was colder than before, and the quiet unnerved him. He looked in his mirrors a few times before leaving, since it was obvious that whomever had left the flash drive wanted him to discover it. An hour later, Mendeecees arrived in his manager's office, where only a few trusted individuals were there. But why? And why go through all this bother instead of just telling the truth? Mendeecees put the flash drive on the table and said, "We need to see what's on this. Are you sure we should plug this into a computer?" His manager was concerned. "We have no idea where it originated." "I'll use an isolated system," the IT professional said, nodding. "Nothing will be impacted if it is hazardous." The room became quiet. A single video file with no title or date showed up on the screen once the flash drive was attached. Mendeecees inhaled deeply and said, "Just one recording." "Play it." The security video started. On the same night that the rumors began, the timestamp displayed Club Eclipse's entry. Attendees kept a close eye on everybody entering and leaving the club, including celebrities. Nothing out of the ordinary, security guards, employees, until the footage revealed something unexpected. Mendeecees spotted the photographer as soon as he entered the club with a professional camera bag in his black hoodie. Hey, the IT specialist paused the video. "Wait. Hey, take a glance behind him." Everybody leaned in closer to the television. Just a few seconds later, someone else entered the club. Unlike the photographer, this guy had a baseball cap pulled low over his face, making it impossible to discern his features. Mendeecees scowled. "I've already seen that jacket. Across town. They're still talking." "About you," Bambi's best friend said, sliding a newspaper across the table as they met at a quiet cafe. Neither of them wanted attention, so they selected a tiny location away from downtown. "I know," Bambi groaned. They claim that additional images may be made public. Bambi didn't panic. "I'm sick of hearing rumors." At that moment, a fresh anonymous message with no number displayed on her phone as it vibrated. "Don't trust everyone around you." "Someone wants me scared," Bambi said, staring at the screen as the message vanished after a short while. In the meanwhile, the video went on. The enigmatic photographer inside Club Eclipse wasn't pursuing Mendeecees or Bambi. Mendeecees were perplexed as he appeared to be totally preoccupied with a man seated in a private VIP booth. "Who is that?" His manager enlarged the photograph. It wasn't entirely clear, but one item was clearly visible. Before Mendeecees and Bambi ever met, the man in the VIP booth seemed to be talking to the hooded photographer. "So this wasn't random," Mendeecees said. "It looks planned." At that very time, the workplace lights abruptly went out, leaving the space completely dark. A few seconds later, everyone froze and just the computer monitor continued to shine. The lights came back on when the backup power came on. However, there was a problem. Mendeecees glanced around the room as the flash drive vanished. "What?" Everybody looked around the office. The flash disk was gone. No doors were opened. No windows were shattered. Yet somehow, somewhere else, the sole piece of proof had disappeared. Inside a tiny motel room, the hooded photographer sat by himself, watching breaking entertainment news on many television screens. "They're getting closer," he said with a smile. Then he unlocked a metal container that contained date-labeled memory cards. The photographer inserted the most recent card into his camera, and an entirely different film emerged on the screen. One card had the date for today, while another had the date for tomorrow. "This changes everything," he said back at the cafe. It depicted someone meeting a journalist in secret before the nightclub images were even uploaded online. "I'm not hiding anymore," Bambi said, concluding that she had waited long enough. Her pal seems taken aback. "What will you do?" "I'll track down the person who initiated this." Before she was able to stand, Bambi glanced around as someone put an envelope on their table. Neither lady had noticed anyone coming. The individual had already left. Inside the mail, there was just one picture, and the back of it showed Mendeecees entering the warehouse the night before. Mendeecees was thinking the same thing when someone wrote, "You're both being watched." He was perplexed as to how the flash drive vanished. There had only been 4 persons in the office, and everyone trusted one another. They believed they did. At last, his manager said, "If someone knew we had that video." Mendeecees finished the sentence. Then someone is observing us." It was late at night. Bambi and Mendeecees both got the same emails with no sender. One sentence, no subject, tomorrow at 8 p.m. Riverside Pier. Mendeecees made the decision to travel across the city. Come alone if you want the truth. Neither of them realized the other had received the same message. Neither of them understood they were entering the greatest mystery of their lives when Bambi made the same choice. A mysterious man observes the metropolitan skyline from the rooftop of a neighboring building as the camera fades to black. The final chapter begins tomorrow, he adds, lowering his binoculars and grinning softly. As the clock approached 8 p.m., the city appeared abnormally quiet. A chilly breeze blew over Riverside Pier, and the sound of waves reverberated along the deserted docks. Usually, the area was crowded with tourists, but tonight there were just a few lights reflected off the sea. Mendeecees recalled the email's warning and parked his car a few blocks away. Come alone. He took a close look around before making his way to the end of the pier. Bambi, who had also come alone, came at the same moment from the opposite direction. When their eyes met, they both appeared shocked. You got the email too? Bambi nodded in response to Mendeecees' question. I thought I was the only one. A voice came from behind an old warehouse before any of them could say anything more. You two arrived just on time. Neither of them recognized the tall guy in the black coat as he cautiously moved into the light. It was not the photographer under the hood. The man calmly remarked, My name isn't important, but I know why you're here. Mendeecees came up and said, Who are you? I'm the one attempting to prevent someone from ruining both of your reputations, the man said with a smile. There was silence for a short while. Mendeecees got wary at